And here we go. This is game number 2 between Liquid Sheth and Liquid'HerO on MLG Metalopolis. This is from the MLG Providence tournament, the winners bracket of the open bracket, I believe. And this is the final game before one of these players went into the championship bracket. And there's the good luck, have fun out of both players, I think. And there's the little viewers tab. And over here in our right hand position, we have Liquid Sheth spawning as the red Zerg player. We saw him go for a quick 6 pull in the last game. Didn't work out too well for him, and we'll see how he does in this game. Liquid'HerO is spawning over here in the leftmost position as the blue Pronos player. And we'll see how he does in this game as well. He's throwing down his pylon at the low ground, so it looks like he will be going for a fast expand. We'll see how Sheth decides to punish this, or if he decides to go for a longer game against Liquid'HerO. Sheth is known as a very strong macro-based player, and there's Liquid'HerO's probe checking out the maps to see exactly where his opponent has spawned, checking the bottom location first to see if there's any possibility of any airplay. And over here, Liquid'HerO continuing to chrono boost out those probes. He's dropping his forge on the low ground. Gonna pick up a couple of minerals from the low ground patches over here, and scouting the inside of Sheth's base. He does see the spawning pool and the extractor up, so he knows it's going to be a speedling opening. This is timed out exactly to get 100 gas to start metabolic boost right as the spawning pool finishes. Also get a queen as well. And there's the forge finishing up for Liquid'HerO. He's going to need to throw down a cannon eventually, possibly going to be going Nexus before cannon. And we'll see how Sheth handles this. And Sheth is not scouted hero just yet. Well, I guess he knows where he is, but he doesn't know what hero is doing. I guess Sheth is assuming that Liquid'HerO is going for this fast expand-ish build. Well, no, this is about as fast of a fast expand as you can get out of Protoss. And there's a pull off of gas from Sheth, so he's going to be getting up his mineral income a little bit higher so you can take a faster natural expansion. Hero now throwing up his first cannon as well as a gateway. He's going to wall this area right here to prevent the Zerglings from running through straight, but the Zerglings can still poke in the backside and deny mining if Liquid'HerO does not have the right cannon placement or enough forces to help defend his natural expansion. He's going to need yet another building up at the front, possibly going to close that off with a cybernetics core. And Hero here actually positioning a pylon on the high ground. This will allow him to throw down buildings just in case he needs a second layer of support. Sheth is finishing up his metabolic boost right now. He's got his Zerglings checking the space over here, making sure there are no pylons of any sort ready for a warp in the later stages of this game. And it looks like Sheth is going to be going for a third base relatively quickly. He's got his drone over here, going to be nibbling away at that probe. And drones do win one-on-one against probes, but it looks like that probe did get the first hit off. And there's the few Zerglings reinforcing this position, and there's the hatchery coming up for Sheth. Hero over here getting up his natural expansion, mining from it now. He does have the double gas inside the main, mining away. And Hero throwing down a chrono boost on that +1 attack. He's also got his first Zella on the way, going to be starting his warp gate tech as well. Third base is about third complete for Sheth right now. That was a relatively quick third base, so we'll see how Liquid'HerO decides to deal with that, to see if he's going to go for a third base of his own, or if he's going to go and try to kill that base or punish Liquid Sheth for droning up so hard. 5 more drones coming out. Let's take a look at the units tab here, and Sheth is now surpassing Hero in terms of the worker count. Hero trying to stay up with that by using his chrono boost, but it looks like he's dumping that on his +1 right now. He's got one Zealot going to be checking at the tower, and Sheth reacting very quickly with that Zergling. Going to be pulling that away, seeing that it's just one Zealot coming out for Liquid'HerO right now. He's going to retreat that Zergling all the way back home. He's got a couple of drones now transferring over to that third base. He's a little bit oversaturated inside the main and a little bit undersaturated at his natural expansion, something that he needs to notice soon. He's got additional Zerglings, Zealots coming out for Liquid'HerO, going to be advancing against this third base to see if they can do any damage. Zerglings are being smart and they will scout this pylon and be able to take it down. Another pylon is on the way for Liquid'HerO though, and there's that pylon. It will fall. Warp Gate Tech is just about finished, and he's got a couple of gateways inside his main, so that makes a total of 4, as well as the Twilight Council. We'll see how much damage he's able to do with this push. He still has this pylon, and he's even getting another pylon down here. Hero's pylon does get spotted, so Sheth will be able to clean that up, and we should be seeing a cancel. There it is, a 75 minerals returned. And there's a little bit of an warpin over here for Liquid'HerO. He's going to be trying to get up a couple of zealots over here. Looks like one zealot does get caught out of position. There are so many Zerglings out in the field right now. And Hero going to be just securing that ramp for now. We've also got a Dark Shrine on the way for Liquid'HerO, so he's going to be trying to punish his opponent with a Dark Shrine, and there's the Zealots advancing over here. They will ward away those Zerglings, and the Zealots inside the third base of Liquid Sheth able to do some damage. If they get this hatchery, it will be a huge deal for Liquid Sheth, and Liquid'HerO will be in a very strong position. Looks like a couple of drones will fall, going for the guaranteed damage here. And the Zealots now positioning themselves in the mineral line so that they can take down as many Zerglings as possible. And Liquid Sheth not doing the wraparound here. Quite a few Zerglings are being taken down here by these Zealots, and that one Zealot in the backside, it will fall now. Getting a pretty cost-effective exchange in terms of Zealots here for Liquid'HerO, and he's got another warpin of those Zealots going to be advancing against this hatchery, but they do get surrounded here, and a ton of those Zerglings will fall, but all of these Zealots, I think they will go down. There they are, getting surrounded and taken out. A Queen helping out as well. A couple of Spine Crawlers coming up, and the Dark Shrine is now complete. Are there Dark Templar coming out? Yes, there are. There's a Spire on the way, but the Dark Templar getting in here. There is an Overseer already, but Zerglings do not do so great against Dark Templar, and there is additional Zerglings spawning right now. But looks like these two Spine Crawlers finishing up will be able to defend this expansion against these Dark Templars. And Hero is in a pretty hard spot right now. He's at 65 food. He's gone for a lot of tech and not done too much damage. He's also warped in a couple of rounds to Zealots and been unable to take down the hatchery. Let's take a look at the workers killed, and not able to kill that many workers as well. And Archon's morphed in for Hero, so he's going to be going after this base over here. Going to be going after that Overseer. Will it fall? It's got 11 HP. If he went after the Overseer, he could probably warp in a couple of additional Dark Templar and trying to do some damage here, and the Zerglings surrounding those Archons here. But Zerglings not so great against Archons, getting cleaned up over there. And the Archons also taking a lot of damage. Two Archons have fallen, but it looks like they're able to run into the mineral line to continue to do some damage here. A couple of Zealots being warped in will be able to do some damage over here. And a third base is on the way for Liquid'HerO. Two Archons remaining, doing some pretty good damage here, but the Zerglings and the Spinecrawler look like they will be too much. That one last Archon trying to hold its own, and a couple of Dark Templar being warped in. They will be able to come in here and do some damage. That Overseer is still up. Looks like that might be a new Overseer. Dark Templar are going to be taking down a couple of drones here. That is a pretty good pickup for Liquid'HerO while getting up his third base. Looks like that hatch did get a transfuse, and it looks like it may fall. There it is, falling down. And Archon is morphing in the middle here for Hero, but it will get taken out before it does any damage. Hero's third base is up, and that's a pretty good thing for Hero. It sort of puts him back in this game a little bit, but Sheth is still way higher in terms of the food count. Was there any sort of counterattack? No, it looks like Hero did kill a bunch of probes here, drones here. All of these Zerglings a little unsure of what to do. Looks like they will spot this pylon eventually. There's the Zerglings, and the Muta's going to be able to clean up that pylon and prevent additional harassment. There's few Mutalisks now headed towards Hero's base, but Hero is ready. He's got Blink on the way. He's also got a couple of Stalkers out in the field. Let's take a look at the units tab. Actually, he's only got these few Stalkers. All he has are Stalkers and Probes as of this moment, and he's got a few sentries now warping in over here. He's going to try to defend this base. He's got a couple of cannons over here, but I think those Zerglings will be able to do a lot of damage. The sentries are also getting surrounded, and there's another nice force field, but it's just not quite enough. There's just too many Zerglings and not enough sentries. But Sheth taking down those sentries is always great, preventing Hero from getting up that huge energy count, being able to alter terrain as much as possible. Sheth getting a little bit high on the money count over here. He's got these two spine crawlers, going to be able to defend these two hatches. He's also got his mutas out in the field, but not too many of them because of that huge amount of harassment force. And Sheth is going to be going for the final push right now. There are far fewer units out in the field for Liquid'HerO than in the last engagement, and the Roach is now streaming in, taking down that first Archon. Not any more storms remaining, also dropping a ton of those changelings running up onto the high ground. And there's the Roaches doing tons of damage, more Zealots being warped in, but it's just not quite enough. Hero falling to 74 food, and Liquid Sheth still max at 197. He's got more Infestors and Roaches on the way. Hero doing a last-ditch valiant defense for his new main base. The Stalkers being blinked back very nicely. Sheth now still at 2-2 in terms of upgrades. He's got 13 more Roaches popping out. And Hero does defend for the moment, but he does lose his natural expansion, and that's a big deal in this case. More Roaches running up onto the high ground, as well as green glop being dropped all over this Protoss army. And Hero he's even messed up over here by getting 2 Templar Archives. There's no Khaidarian Amulet, I'm sorry. And there's Hero retreating back into the bowels of his base. The Roaches having free reign over these production facilities. More units being warped in for Liquid'HerO, but it's just not quite enough. The Roaches now inside of his mineral line as well. And Hero really staying in this for an excessive amount of time. GG out of Liquid'HerO, and we're going to be headed to the ace match between Liquid Sheth and Liquid'HerO. This is from MLG Providence, and if you do like what you see here, please do subscribe. Sheth to make so many Zerglings. Couple of pylons in the back for Liquid'HerO, now warping in yet another Dark Templar. Where is it? The Muta's working down on this pylon. Looks like the Blink upgrade did just now finish. A Blink forward will be able to target down a couple of these units. And there's the Dark Templar on the low ground, trying to take out a couple of units there. Looks like Hero is actually up to +3 attack already, and now finally grabbing his ground armor. So Hero's upgrades are actually amazing. And Sheth over here is at 0-0, so Hero is in a pretty good spot here, actually. He's got his 1 Dark Templar headed into the main of Liquid Sheth. He's going to see all the tech here, maybe even target down the Spire. No, it looks like the Dark Templar will go after the Queen. Dark Templars do 60 damage with the +3 attack. A couple of extra gateways coming up for Hero, but Sheth is scooting forward in terms of the food count here. And here's Hero's push. He's going to be going with a couple of Stalkers towards this 4th base. Looks like that's under fire by a Dark Templar as well. Hero has plenty of cannons at each base, going to be able to hold off any sort of Mutalisk harass. And there's the Blink Stalkers over here. They should be blinking back shortly against those Zerglings. A couple of Zerglings do get taken out, but there are now Infestors out in the field. There's a blink back from those Stalkers, and an Overseer does fall, and that supply blocks Liquid Sheth, but I don't think it matters. He's got plenty of Infestors as well as Roaches out in the field. Roaches don't quite yet have speed, so we'll see him get that right now. There's a Glial Reconstitution finishing up for Sheth. Hero's still in a pretty tough spot. A couple of Zerglings do fall for Liquid Sheth, Hero doing a nice job of maintaining his Stalker health here. Only one Stalker is in the yellow right now, and even in the yellow, it's still got pretty high levels amount of health. And Sheth here looking like he may be doing a push with his roaches and infestors, throwing those infested Terrans all over the place. Missile attacks +2 on the way. And Hero here with his nice Gateway Tech Ball is possibly trying to move out here, maybe take yet another base, maybe try to take the gold base. Sheth is taking yet another double expand right now, one to the gold and one to the possible 5th base over here. He's going to need to retake this base eventually. And there's Hero continuing to push out just a little bit, and it looks like Sheth is going to be going for it right now. And there's a blink back from Hero. Nice fungal there, but Storm's going down. Feedback on the infestors as well. More feedbacks for Hero, and that's done a great job of eliminating the number of fungals that can be used. Sheth is reinforcing with this, and Hero is forced to back up despite his very nice fungals, and Archon does fall over there. Additional Stalkers being warped in, and Liquid Sheth is just rallying his forces here. He's got a stream of units just running across the map. He's also got his gold base up, not quite running right now, but Hero is going to be forced to back into his natural expansion. Not a comfortable spot to be in. As a Protoss player, Sheth is now doubling Hero's food count, and more roaches streaming in here. There's the +1 ground armor finally finishing, or +2 ground armor finally finishing for Liquid Hero. More Dark Templar being warped in. There are no Overseers here, so those Dark Templar are going to be able to do plenty of work against those roaches. And still no drone transfer over to the gold. Usually we see that immediately so that they can get that huge mineral boost basically from just one base. And there's the few Dark Templar getting taken out with the presence of that Overseer. 4th base on the way for Hero. This is so crazy that Hero's been able to come back right now and still be in this game, although his money is quite a bit lower. I mean, his food count is quite a bit lower. A couple of probes now transferring. That is not a good day to be a transferring probe here. And looks like the units from Sheth able to take down a couple of those transferring probes and forcing Hero back into his natural expansion, blinking back to save those Stalkers. And the cannons are going to be able to do some work against those roaches, but I think the positioning is slightly better for Liquid Hero. He's got additional units warping in, possibly even warp in a couple of Zealots over here to help defend as well. It looks like those roaches will be headed towards the 3rd base of Hero. A couple of units may have died here. Let's take a look at the workers killed tab, and there it is. Hero killing 25 workers and Sheth killing 14 for himself. Stalkers blinking back out of range of those roaches. More infestors coming down here. They can throw down the fungal growths. Looks like one does fall and the other does fungal. And still more units coming forth for Liquid Sheth. He's been max for the past 5-6 minutes. The Dark Templar are working away on those roaches. Looks like they will be retreating for the moment. Sheth needs to bring over yet another Overseer. There it is coming up for those roaches. The Dark Templar are now retreating over to the natural expansion. And finally a drone transfer over to the gold base for Liquid Sheth. And Sheth is so far ahead right now. He's banking 1.5k and 500 gas for right now. He's got his roaches up in the face of Hero. Does he have Burrow? Yes, he does. So he can even heal these roaches super quickly to do continuous pushing. And there's a nice fungal on all of Kiwikaki's forces. But the blink micro from here, or not Kiwikaki. Where did I get that from? But all over Liquid Hero's forces. There's Sheth going to be pushing the 3rd base of Hero. Looks like he's not going to finish it off. He needs to just push in here, and he'll be able to take down all of those units. And it looks like Hero now advancing to the gold base, taking down a couple of roaches. Small victory there for Liquid Hero. More Templar on the way, but it looks like the roaches, no, they're not going to go for it. And over here, Sheth finishing the mining at his natural expansion. Still no hive. Like to see a hive come up shortly. He's also not retaken this base as of the moment. Basically staying going roaches, and there's a couple of mutas now coming across to Hero's 4th base. I do like the Roach switch here. Going to be able to, the Mutalisk switch here, able to harass a couple of those far-flung expansions. But it looks like Sheth getting into yet another confrontation here, but the Roach is unable to do the damage. Looks like there's that one Infestor popping out, unable to do the fungal growth, so Sheth is actually falling a little bit in terms of food count, but he does have 20 plus roaches on the way for himself. He's going to be able to remax very quickly. He's still got 2,000 in the bank. Really like to see him retake this base just to get the gas. And there's one Dark Templar headed into this expansion. There are a couple of roaches here just kind of hanging out. Dark Templar will be able to take down a couple of these units before it does get spotted. And Liquid'HerO just being a little bit indecisive of what he's trying to do right now. He's unable to really push across the field, but he sort of has to do some damage in order to actually stay in the game. So he's just trying to poke a little bit forward and just fall back afterwards. And Sheth here has been max for a while. More drones transferring over to this gold base. And it looks like Hero may be looking to blink up onto the high ground. There are a couple of Zealots up top, and they will be able to spot for those Stalkers blinking onto the high ground. The Roach Warren will fall, and it looks like Sheth over here pushing with the remainder of his army, or the majority, or all of his army, going to be going straight for Hero's main base. He's going to be able to depower all of these gateways. Oh no, Artosis pylon over there for Liquid'HerO. And Sheth's lair is going to fall as well, but he's going to be getting another lair somewhere else soon, I hope, so he can continue going up higher in the tech tree. Feedback going down on one of those infestors. And Sheth in a commanding position right now. Stalkers coming down the ramp, going to be able to take down the third base over here. And the Zealots cleaning up the gas as well. Also target firing the infestation pit. And Sheth is not going to be able to make any more infestors. More roaches coming in for Sheth, trying to take down that base. But it looks like Hero's main is being completely hollowed out. There are a couple of probes remaining over here. But the Templar Archives falling as well. And Hero just mining from these two bases as of the moment. So many photon cannons up at this location. And the Stalkers coming up to the gold base, going to be trying to target that one down. A couple of roaches reinforcing this location, a couple of infestors as well. There's a nice green glop on all of the Stalkers, blinking over for Liquid'HerO. Hero now falling to 80 some food. He's going to be trying to hang on with just these photon cannons. And the roaches and a couple of those overseers now scooting over to that third base of Hero, or what's now the first base. A couple of Immortals out in the field trying to do some damage, but the Zerglings do take them down very quickly. And I think this is going to end the game. Hero's just staying in this to try to leech Sheth's stamina as much as possible going into a game number 3. And keep in mind, he will be able to choose the map for the next match. And I think we should be seeing GG out of Liquid'HerO shortly. I don't know if there's anything that he can actually do. He's got an War Prism over here, possibly trying to warp in. He's trying to take a third base over here, or a second base now. Now that his past third base has been taken down. Couple of Zealots advancing to the gold expansion, but the units here are ready for those Zealots. They will fall relatively quickly. Sheth not really microing those roaches right now. They are at 2/2 upgrades, but it looks like the +3/+3 Zealots are just too much for them. A couple of those Overlords checking out exactly what Hero is doing. Roaches now returning home to defend. A couple of those Zealots will get taken out, and Hero now at 63 food. Sheth over him at 172 food. Now grabbing the gas at his gold base will allow him to get some tech back up and running. Gateway is finishing up for Liquid'HerO as well as his next Templar Archives. And Sheth is just content to sit back for the moment. He's got the base advantage right now. He's got the advantage in every sense as of this moment. Sheth is now max once again. He could actually just throw units at Liquid'HerO, and I really don't know if there's anything that Hero can do about it. More gateways on the way for Hero, getting his production back up and running. And the Roaches finally cleaning up this one pylon that's been there since 15-20 minutes ago. Sheth getting up his second infestation pit of this game. The infestors and the Roaches looking like they may be doing some pushing real soon. But Sheth is going to be pulling back. Very interesting. Hero keeping the majority of his forces up on the high ground. Looks like he sees the Roaches going to be trying to do some damage here. Any amount of damage for Hero as of this moment is completely necessary. He needs to try to clean up this army and still stay in the game long enough to actually win against Sheth. And I see that he doesn't really have the probe saturation right now. He's not really making any probes. He's just trying to mass up an army to defend. And here comes Liquid Sheth with an army of Overseers as well as a huge number of Roaches going to be headed over here. Nice storm going down as well as feedback. More infestors as well as the hive now on the way for Liquid Sheth, and here comes his push. There are so many cannons at this location, but I don't think it matters. There's the storms going down, force fields as well, but they're just way too late. More storms as well as feedback going down. A ton of these Roaches are being obliterated, but I really don't think he has enough to take down these Zerg forces. More storms being forced out of Liquid'HerO right now, and there are 39 Roaches in the production queue. A huge warp-in of Stalkers for Liquid'HerO, but I really don't think he's going to be able to hold this off. The cannon wall has been taken down. A couple of Roaches do fall, as well as a couple of those Overlords, but that's not too big of a deal to Liquid Sheth, who has banked 2,000 minerals as well as 1,000 gas. And there's your reinforcing 39 Roaches. Should be able to blast it down the Protoss wall in this case, and there's that one Stalker trying to take down a Roach over there, and looks like Hero is being forced all the way back to his natural expansion. Additional Templar and Stalkers being warped in,